Hello everyone, thanks for joining me again today. I am continuing to make my Christmas projects using my stash. So the items that you'll be seeing that I used for this project are items that I have used previously on some of my other videos. So this time I decided to make some Christmas tags, and I made a box for my tags. And the holiday greens are using this die from Hobby Lobby. It is available at Hobby Lobby. And I used this die from China. So I decorated the front, and I had a pine cone stamp, so I heat embossed this in some gold embossing powder, and then made a bow, and then just made the pine branches to decorate the front. And all you have to do is just slide the band, and then the top opens up. And then here's my 4 tags, and as you can see, here's that repeat of the snowman, and I just stamped him in different angles. Let me just set those down and start with the first one. I just stamped him in different angles on the little squares on the side, and then got as much of the image on this side here as I could, and then stamped Let It Snow. I added some sequins, decorated or colored them up with my zig markers, and then put some pine boughs up at the top. I cut the tag out of watercolor paper so it's nice and thick, and then added a layer of designer paper from the red paper pad 6x6 pad that I've been using all along. I just tied a red piece of ribbon at the top and just made a hole with my crocodile. I did reinforce it with just a square piece of cardstock and glued that to the top and just folded it in half. And then I found these stickers at Tuesday Morning, and I just adhered that to the back, so to and from, and since I had a snowman, it went great with the front design. So that is the first one. And then, let's see, am I focused? I think so. Okay, the second one, I used the penguin, and you've seen my card. It was the card I made using the Action Wobbles, and I did the same thing, just added the image to 2 of the squares, him on the larger square, and then the stamp set had these little gifts, so I stamped those on separate pieces of cardstock and then fussy cut them out. And then I found another sticker that had a penguin on it, so I put that on the back for the to and from, and adhered the pine branches at the top and a white bow. All of them have the white bow. This one was one of the images that is by, oh, I forget who makes this, My Favorite Things, I believe. And it had the, anyway, I made a card with this one as well. And then I stamped the birch branches, took a piece of the, or a section of the branches, and stamped it on this little square, and then added the 2 birds and stamped Joy from another stamp set. And once again, I lined the tag with the red paper pad that I've been using, and then to and from on the back. And then the last one was a stamp set that had the pine cone and some snowflakes, and I had not used this bird, so I colored that up as well with my zig markers, and pretty much did the same thing, just added different images to the squares and a little sentiment there, Let It Snow, added a bow to the top, and then a to and from on the back. So those are my 4 tags and my box to go with it. I will be attaching a how-to tutorial at the end of this video on how to make the box, Now I'm going to give you the measurements for this tag. So it is 3 3 7/8, I think. Let's see. Let me get it a little bit closer because I'm a little far away from the camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 3 7/8 by 6 inches. And then I just cut the angles at the top. And once I cut this side, I just flipped the cutout piece and put it on this side and then drew my line so they would be even on both sides. So that's how I did those. So now I'll get started with the tutorial. So the measurements for your cardstock to begin with should be 9.5 inch square. And then you will need a punch board for this. So your first score line will be at 3 1/8. So I'm going to come in here at 3 1/8. Punch and score. And then I'm going to move it down to 4.5. Punch and score. Okay, then you're going to turn it 180 degrees and do the exact same thing. Punch at 3 1/8 and then at 4.5. Then you can continue with the other two sides, just lining up this point on your scoreboard with the two lines and punch and score. And I'll come back when I have that finished. Okay, so now I've punched and scored all my sections, and then I'm just going to fold and burnish all my score lines. And once I have that done, I'll come back and show you the next step. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is on the long end, on the bottom here, we're going to cut these two sections on each side, just from the inside up until the score line. And then we're just going to cut a little wedge away, and same thing on this side. Okay, and those are our bottom flaps that we will be gluing to this part, so our box will start to come together. On the opposite side, which will be our top, we want to actually remove these two sections here. So just cut those away. And that'll be our top flap. Now on my box, I just used a solid piece of cardstock, and then I chose to add mats to decorate the box. So it's your choice on what you want to do. So now we're going to add glue to the top of the little tabs. I'm just using my tape gun just for demonstration purposes, but you'll want to use some glue or some very sticky adhesive like score tape. So then you'll just bring these corners together, just like that. And this will go to the inside, so you'll add adhesive to this part and glue that down, and then adhesive to this part, and there you have, let's see, did you see, I think I was out of focus, but add adhesive to this part here and glue that down, and then add adhesive to this part, and this part, and then glue that down, and there you have your box. I did make a little band to go around mine. You can use Velcro, a magnet, whatever you want to keep this closed, but I thought this was nice, and that way you could decorate the little band to go around your box. So that's it, guys. If you've enjoyed this tutorial and my projects, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and thanks everyone for watching. Take care.